Like in a lot of ways, with MS, it kind of changes everything and changes nothing. In a day-to-day way, my life is completely affected by MS. In the energy I have, whether or not I'm able to sleep at night. I can't run. I can walk maybe a mile before I get tired. Cognitively, I just can get mentally exhausted. Can't do a lot of things that I used to could. But at the end of the day, it hasn't changed who I am. It hasn't disrupted my ability to love. It hasn't changed what fulfills me, what I enjoy, what's important to me. It hasn't changed any of that.
No.
It has focused in a lot of ways what is important to me and what I want to expend the little energy I have doing. MS hasn't changed anything that's important in life. And having a sense of humor about the aspects that it has changed can really help you deal with it. My interest in filmmaking began at a really young age. My dad was assistant director and worked on shows like Charlie's Angels and Chips. And it was always so cool to me. I have just always really been drawn to filmmaking. When my brothers and I were little kids, my dad got us a little camcorder and we'd run around in the backyard making movies. The assistant director is basically keeping the set running, keeping everything rolling,
Quiet on the set.
keeping each setup, on task and on target.
Action.
But my dad was like a yeller. He would yell. And he wasn't mean, but I mean cut and action, quiet on the set. I've been on other sets where the assistant director just has his walkie-talkie, because they all have walkie-talkies. They just saying, quiet on the set, rolling, background, action, and he's just calling it in a very calm, subdued way. My dad would yell, quiet on the set, background. And that's the way he approached it. It was very inspiring as a small child to be on set and to see my dad, ordering everyone around and yelling for this to happen and that to happen. So I think it was my dad working in the industry that got me interested in the industry. But then at the same time, it was that exposure to it that sort of made me realize what a grind it can be and sort of, the feast or famine nature of it. So when I was growing up and starting out in my career, I always had this idea that I needed and wanted to have a day job. So I have always been making my movies and pursuing my dreams on the side. And that kind of all really came to a head when I was diagnosed with MS, because due to my lack of energy, I've always really had to prioritize what I was doing. And then once I was diagnosed with MS, it made me kind of sit down and really take stock of why I was interested in filmmaking and what I really wanted to get out of it. And I just realized that what it is I love about filmmaking is telling stories. And so I can do that on any sort of budget that's available to me. It doesn't need to be millions of dollars on some big production. I can tell stories with just one camcorder and a friend.